Have you ever met a celebrity?
I have, yes. So, I want to say this was. When was this, man? This was okay. First of all, this was around the 4th of July, and this was back in when I was in Washington, maybe around 9 to 13 years old, somewhere in there. And uh, my mom and I were going grocery shopping, and my dad went up to the fireworks stand to get fireworks, and um, so we're my mom and I are in the grocery store, and and my mom gets a call from my dad saying, "You'll never guess who I just met. You'll never ever guess." And then we're just like, "Well, what's going on?" And you you may or may not know who he is. Have you ever watched Deadliest Catch?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was Jonathan Hillstrand, one of the captains of one of the boats on there, and he actually ran a fireworks stand, right around where we lived. Actually, the same town where that wizard was walking around in. So, yeah, Buckley,
Okay. Okay.
Washington. Yeah, so he ran a fireworks stand there while he was, not out fishing or whatever. And Hillstrand was like, "Do you want to wash my car?" And my dad was like, "Yeah." So the drive is, I think it was like a, man, what was it? It was something like a 55 Chevy or some kind of hot rod like that. So so my dad is in the passenger seat driving with Jonathan Hillstrand just raging through town, and then Hillstrand goes into this one of our neighbors' driveways, and there's a guy in the parking lot of their house with the hose. He's like, "This is the house, right?" And my dad's like, "No, we're down the road a bit." So he backs out of that guy's driveway and then actually goes to our house. And then yeah, my dad is out there chatting with him when my mom and I get home, and then we pull in there, and then he helped us take our groceries into our house. So yeah,
Wow.
that was pretty cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah, my mom actually sent
Yeah.
me a picture. I'll have to put that up on the screen and post. But yeah,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I didn't know him by name, but pulled him up here, and yeah, I know who you're talking about. That's awesome. So I actually have never met. Okay, I have, but I haven't. Like, I've never met like a quote unquote celebrity. It's a YouTube celebrity. Back in, I believe it was 2014, me and my roommate, we decided, because we had both bought um PS4s same time. No, he already had one. Sorry, a long time ago. It's almost 10 years ago. He had one. He talked me into getting one so we could play this brand new game coming out called Destiny. And we played Destiny together and we loved it. And we got chatting and we were like, hey, we should go to the PSX, which is the big PlayStation floor show that year. I believe it's 2014. I'm pretty sure. And so we go, and he's like, hey, if we are lucky, there might be this guy. There might be Boogie might be there, and I'm like, I don't know who Boogie is. I think I've told this story on here before.
a little bit.
I didn't know who he was or anything, but anyways, we went to the show, saw the presentations. That's when that was the year Bloodborne was announced, and I can't remember anything besides Bloodborne. But anyways, we are just walking the floor, just getting our freebies, just having a great time, and we see a guy in a I don't know the right word for it. I'm just going to call it a mobility scooter.
Okay.
And, and okay, so I didn't know who he was, but my
Hmm.
roommate like watched his videos and he was a fan. He's like, "Oh, it's Boogie, Boogie, Boogie!" And we walk up to him and we're like, "Hey, can we get a picture with you?" He's like, "Sure." You know, he was really nice. He was, I mean, it seemed like he was tired, and
Yeah.
I bet he was. He was, riding around his mobility scooter, had been there all day talking to people. I bet he was tired. So he was like friendly, but you could tell he was done with the day because it was probably 3, 4 o'clock. Day was almost over. So
Hmm.
I have a picture. I should see if I can find it. I'll send it to you. I'll have to dig for it. But
All right.
anyways, Boogie is the only quote unquote celebrity I've ever met.
Hmm.
And then so to finish the story off, I went home and I started watching his videos, and hilarious videos. I actually had seen the fat guy falling into a pool
Yeah.
before, the video, but I didn't know that's who it was. And then that's right around when Boogie started to take a nosedive in popularity. He really he got depressed and he started doing all his weird stuff, and so he wasn't really anyone to be excited to meet after that. But yeah, I did meet Boogie. He was nice,
Yeah.
and that's about it.
The
I
main
think
thing
that
that I remember about Boogie, besides the fight and stuff and like his Francis character, was
yeah.
that I remember he at one point I think he was starting like his weight loss journey or something, and he was gonna do like a last hurrah to Mountain Dew, and he poured it off to the side, and I'm like, all right, good for him. All right. Years later, I see him still drinking Mountain Dew and stuff. I'm like, whatever, man. All right, just forget about it. And then like when Keemstar like went to his house, and I think he was asking him about it like for like the pre-fight interviews. Boogie was like, "Man, I just gave up. I just let like the haters win. I let the soda win. You know that kind of stuff." So yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of a tragedy because he was, I mean, he was iconic, like the early 2010s YouTube, maybe even before that. He was iconic.
yeah.
The most notable thing I remember, he played a game called I Am Toast or I Am Bread. Can't remember which it is. I don't know if you've seen
I'm
it,
bread. Yeah,
but you're a slice of bread and you're trying to get into the toaster and become toast is the whole point of the game. And I just remember laughing hysterically. Yeah, he got depressed and he really stopped. I mean, he stopped making videos. I felt like he would stream on Twitch every once in a while, and it was just really depressing, just like hard to watch content.
yeah.
And now he's basically a nobody.
Pretty much. Yeah. Speaking of like the fight, man, I think neither of them have done anything to like further themselves, whether it be like physically or through like popularity or anything. I feel like they're both doing the same thing. I feel like, so first of all, Wings of Redemption is just doing the same old shit. He's just playing Rainbow Six Siege and getting like 200, 300 viewers, whatever. But Boogie seems to be getting himself in hot water in like every single day with his new girlfriend on Twitter that's posting about constantly, and people don't like it because she's like, I think she's like 20 or something like 20 years younger than him. But like still, that she's not like a kid. I mean,
Right.
but
They're
yeah,
they're both adults. Yeah, it's not
yeah.
like a
So,
crazy like. Yeah,
but
yeah
yeah, yeah,
it's just sad to see. Like everybody wants to be YouTube famous or internet famous or whatever, but then you see people like that, and it just doesn't seem worth it some days. But
yeah. Well, yeah, that's cool. I don't know. I don't think I'd ever want to go to like a convention like that. Like there's been some times when I've thought about wanting to go to E3 or something, but I'm like I feel like it would kind of smell or something. But I don't know. Maybe that's just misinterpreting the audience. I don't know.
no, you're not wrong. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember much because the whole day was kind of a blur, but it's just a bunch of just dudes running around. That's about it.
Yeah. Well,
It was kind of a waste of time and money, other than meeting Boogie. So,
really.
I mean, it's cool. Like, it's cool because you're there and you get to see like them announcing stuff. The tickets were like 50 or 60 bucks. They were quite expensive for a ticket for something. And then I mean, you can watch the trailers at home. Like, there's really like, I guess we did get to play a couple of games, like, but they're just like small indie games. Like, there's really nothing there other than just the experience itself.